Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are currently expanding here, and we haven't run into any aliens just yet, but we'll see what ends up happening there. We are of course pretty heavily exploring our little corner of the universe here, and we've got a fair amount more to explore behind in our first constellation here, so that's great. Leader experience gain, okay, cool. So for now, mostly we're just chilling. There's not a whole lot being done. We can definitely see that these two both funnel into this star here. I actually want to just move out here and skip Bonos for right now. This will give us information on whether we have a dead end here and whether we have a dead end here. If we do for both, that would be amazing and an ideal scenario. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. If I can remember how to talk, that would generally help. Okay, what do we got? Oh, hello. It appears that the asteroid TE9076 and the surrounding debris originate from a former planet. Deep within the center of the asteroid, we can find traces of extremely valuable alloys. There are also hints of bacterial life that has now died in the vacuum of space. This shows us that the celestial body once bore the promise of life. Amazing. Plus 3 alloys. That's pretty good. Okay, so we can now definitely see, we can't really see over here, but we can see that this is not a dead end and it goes out over this way. Let's head up to this black hole. I want to see where this goes. If we enter another constellation, then we'll start surveying back here. But for now, I want to be able to plan our movements over this way. So let's see what we've got up there. The Luminary of Creation is, of course, coming over to Faghininejad. And that's great. We're going to grab that for sure. Oh, a hostile alien menace, huh? Made first contact with an unknown entity indeed. Oh my. Okay. Well, this is not another civilization. We can know that for sure. Oof. This is going to be interesting. Earthsea is in an uproar following the news of unidentified ships sighted in the void. Their intentions unknown, it would be prudent to assume the worst. Indeed it would. We've made first contact with mysterious aliens in the Great Wound system. For now, we've codenamed them Alpha Menace until we can find out more about them. If they possess a language, we should decipher it so that we can assess how much of a threat they pose. Yeah, about that. About that. I'm not sure they have a language. It's going to be an interesting one. So these guys are going to want to come up here and survey. We can now see that this is, in fact, a dead end. So really, we should just survey and Dressel.
Intellectual booty.
Excellent. So there's our research complete here for food increase. That's very good. Society research from researchers is also something that we want to get fairly early on. We are negative in food right now, and that's not necessarily great. What do we have available for jobs here? We do have an angler job available, and every angler job is giving us 12 food. Okay. That should be fine. Should be good enough for now. And we're just going to continue to push up to Tadaska for the moment. Let's see. This science ship is going to be moving out this direction, and that's okay. Now that we know that this is a dead end, or we think it's a dead end anyway, I think we'd see indications if it wasn't. Then that is fantastic. There's significant scarring on the surface of this world in a pattern that cannot be natural. From orbit, the massive rifts look almost like writing. We'll take a look at that eventually. Scans indicate the presence of a foreign, alien-made object on one of Unir 6A's many frozen mountaintops. We'll leave that be as well. Okay. Oh, here's another one. Although Phemisto 4 appears totally desolate and devoid of life, our scanners have picked up an encrypted signal emanating from it. We'll leave it be for now. So we're down to only -5 food per month. That's great. We should probably think about an additional agriculture district over here, though. We'll go ahead and get that in. We are positive now, and that is presumably because that agriculture district has...
A system has been charted.
Yes, that job has been filled.
Grow ever
Excellent.
stronger.
We're going to build our mining stations in Fakhaninejad,
Research complete.
and we are not currently surveying over here. We're going to survey down this direction. We know that this constellation is entirely under our control once we get this system, anyway. I do, at this point, want to get a second construction ship. We do need a new physics research, and I didn't even notice that that finished up, but it did. And that's a good thing. That's that sweet, sweet additional 5% research speed across the board. I think we're going to take colony development speed, since it's so early. That's a continental world. Okay, we can't settle that without terraforming. Ah! Envoy Ishtart is still working to confirm the hypothesis that the irregularity we had designated as Alpha Menace is in fact a living organism. While it seems to be made up of a cluster of random stardust, it is demonstrably able to propel itself across the void and shows basic signs of independent agency. Our researchers are perplexed by the phenomenon and are working hard to verify our readings. Indeed. Okay, let's go for, research station output and research from starbase constructions both increased by 20% seems pretty good to me. So we'll take that. We were at plus 78 before. We'll see if that updates on the month tick. Yes, 81. Fantastic. Okay. So this construction ship has finished. It's going to head over to Hadnock. Now, our main concern here is, of course, influence. With 2 construction ships, it's going to be a little bit tough to have the influence that we need. For the moment, anyway. Once we're a little more established, have some neighbors, things might change. We'll see. So we are, of course, going to head over to Tadaska and build a starbase over there as soon as we're done in Fakhaninejad. That's all completely fine. And we're, of course, going to settle Tadaska 3B here as soon as we can. It's a small world, but it is an ocean world. And that is what is important. We will, of course, be terraforming as well. Impressive structures litter Dressel 6's surface, practically begging for some archaeological work. And we'll do the archaeological work, but not just yet. However, we will be able to queue this up in a moment here. We'll just do something like that. Excellent. Nestled in sheltered pockets across Nimroth 4's surface is a rich sludge of simple organic compounds that our researchers believe could be a hotbed for abiogenesis, the spontaneous foundation of organic life from lifeless matter. Nimroth 4 has an unusually thick atmosphere for a barren world, which could make it hospitable for simple life forms. Although this presents a unique opportunity to study what could be the early stages of the origin of life, it would be best to set our expectations low, as it may still be millions of years before life evolves naturally on Nimroth 4, if at all. Fascinating, and some society research over there. Ooh, okay, what's going on here? Ah, space whales, okay. We've made first contact with mysterious aliens in the Tadaska system. For now, we've codenamed them Beta Menace until we can find out more about them. If they possess a language, we should decipher it. Indeed, we should. So we'll go ahead and get an envoy working on that. That is our second envoy, of course. And we're going to continue constructing in Tadaska. We want to get that colony as soon as possible. That would be a very important thing for us. And we're going to need additional anglers on our capital. When are we going to get... Hang on, Anomaly. When are we going to get an additional pop here? 7 months. Cool. Sensors are reporting a number of possible points of interest within the dense debris field surrounding Dressel 3A. Okay. We'll leave that be for now. An investigation into a peculiar cluster of debris and space dust, previously dubbed Alpha Menace, has yielded surprising results. It is a particulate cloud, bristling with a powerful charge of unknown origin that has no business exhibiting simple reflexive actions, let alone movements with purpose. And yet it does. There's something undeniably ominous about the hazy subject of the relayed video feeds. Perhaps there are things in the universe we should not tangle with. Let us watch, but not interfere with it. Okay, so enigmatic energy, we get 20 influence, and we get a special project to study them. Cool. Let's go ahead and do that. 79 months. Ooh. Do we want to do that right now? That's a long time, but let's go ahead and get started on that. Okay. In Tadasca, we are going to build mining stations. We're also going to immediately queue up a colony ship, although it's easiest if we just do it from this menu. Tadasca Prime. Off we go.
Ever stronger.
This construction ship will build mining stations here. We do see that there's a Gamma Menace down here. Mining drones? Perhaps, but that's very powerful. Okay. Interesting. This science ship needs to continue. We're going to push out into this constellation for the moment. Still surveying Dressel. Huh. We're going to want to make our way over here as soon as we can, though. Before we developed faster-than-light travel, several sublight exploration probes were dispatched from Harcia at near relativistic speeds towards nearby systems. The scientists who developed the probes naively included sensitive information about our culture in their memory cores as a form of greeting to alien civilizations. It has now been realized that this data could potentially be used against us. We need to track down these probes before they're found by someone or something unsympathetic to our species. They can't have gotten far. Okay, where are they? We can get 3 of those 4 extremely easily. However, I'm going to survey Dressel still, of course. We're going to head over to Bonos and grab that. Okay, we'll get to those. This one down here is actually going to be pretty easy to get to as well. So that's definitely interesting. We've received some rather troubling reports regarding the deteriorating health, deteriorating health of Chancellor Bodemelkart. Their haggard appearance makes it look as though they've aged nearly 20 years. The burden of duty can be a heavy thing to bear. They're a substance abuser now, and that is not necessarily great. Well, I mean, we're democratic. It'll be fine. We're receiving a weak signal from the surface of this moon. The source appears to be some kind of tracking beacon. We'll leave that be. Excellent.
Ever stronger.
Indeed, we do. We're going to head into Bahiram and build a starbase there. Excellent. We are definitely running low on influence. I'm a little surprised we haven't had factions pop in. Then again, we're only 8 years in, so there's that. The asteroid around Tadasca 3A has such a perfectly stable orbit that it's easy to understand why our scientists thought it was placed there artificially. Yet there are no conclusive indications of any propulsion systems or any other artificial marring. The only natural conclusion is that by some absurdly improbable chance, the asteroid got caught in Tadasca 3A's gravity field. We've also detected some rare crystals on the surface of the asteroid. How thoughtful. Rare crystals +2. I like it. Those will, of course, be very handy later on.
Space charts updated.
Pemisto has been fully surveyed, and we're just going to continue to fill in our starting constellation over here. Long-range scanners have picked up readings in the Tadasca station that could be best described as giant heat blobs. It's worth investigating, and so we shall. The damp southern horn has picked up a signal from a discarded signal buoy belonging to one of our missing sublight probes in the Bonos system. There's an ion trail leading away from the buoy on a trajectory towards another star, suggesting that someone has towed the probe there for unknown reasons. Let's see where this trail
There
leads.
is new information in the situation log.
Okay, so where is this? Still in the Bonos system. I'm not actually sure where this is. The situation log doesn't seem to actually say. Still in the Bonos system. An ion trail belonging to one of our missing probes leads to this system. Its starting system. Maybe if I tick? No? Okay. Not exactly sure where this probe is. It definitely thinks it's in the Bonos system. There does not appear to be anything here. Okay. Well, we'll survey the system and see what we find. Sounds good to me. Our colony ship is over half done,
We grow ever
so
stronger.
that is great. We did just finish constructing in Hadnock. We're going to head up to Gliderum next. What was previously thought to be assorted mountains in the southern hemisphere of Tadasca 2A have been identified as some massive skeletal remains of a single colossal alien life form. The bones have been dated as 3.4 million, or rather billion, years old, but our scientists have ruled out that Tadasca 3A could have supported life on that scale at any point in the moon's history. Science Officer Awkward has prepared a special research project to delve further into this mystery. Okay,
Letter of situations
sounds great.
Amended.
We need a science ship in orbit, and so we shall. Do it right now. Of course, Control-Shift to prepend. We found another archaeological site. We will get to those later on. For now, exploration is our primary goal here. Interesting, the layout of this constellation over here. We might be able to push our way down here. This could be a dead end in theory, but I kind of doubt it.
We grow ever stronger.
Okay, a large amount of ship debris can be found in orbit around this planet, possibly the remnants of some kind of massive fleet action. That sounds promising. We did, of course, just finish this construction, and we'll build a mining station in Bahiram. As far as Bonos goes, there doesn't appear to be a whole lot of anything here.
The system has been charted.
This science ship needs orders, and its orders are, of course, to push down here. We need more information about these hyperspace lanes, is what needs to happen right now. The spaceborne life forms, which the Pictish head...
Anomalous space-time
Hold on.
continue
Which the
ahead.
Pictish head of Society Research has come to refer to as Tiyanki, are docile creatures. Capable of accessing some lower dimension of subspace, they roam from system to system with remarkable ease. They graze on gases common to the upper layers of many gas giants. It's highly unlikely, to say the least, that this is their only food source, but intake of other nutrients has yet to be observed. They will rarely, if ever, attack, even when provoked. They can safely be ignored. Hunting them would be a net loss anyway. 20 influence is great and gives us
We are
access
being
to frequency
contacted by
tuning.
aliens.
Okay, sounds fantastic. Efforts to map the surface of this moon have identified a strange mountain range in the southern hemisphere. It does not appear to have formed naturally. Okay. Our colony ship is created and headed to Tadasca.
Special now.
Our continued studies of the massive skeletal remains on Tadasca 2A have managed to shed some light on how the creature ended up on the moon. There are very faint residual energy readings that indicate some kind of dimensional portal existed briefly towards the rear of the skeleton. Science Officer Awkward theorizes that the creature passed through this gateway from another dimension, only to quickly perish in the hostile environment of Tadasca 2A. Why it did this, and where it came from, are questions that may never be answered. Astounding. 269 of physics research and 200 experience for Science Officer Awkward. Perfect. That is, of course, fantastic.
Grow ever stronger.
Oh, this actually links up over here. I didn't realize that, but sure. We're going to then build our mining and research stations in Gliderum. Wonderful. and then we'll head up to Bonos once that's done being surveyed. We are still a little short on our influence, only making 3 per month is rough. We have found our missing probe. A small fleet of jury-rigged ships has been detected in the Bonos system, and one of them has the probe locked in a short-range tractor beam. They're hailing us. On screen. What you want, alien? This probe ours. Salvage. We find first. You leave now. Yes. Interrupting delicate operations, your ships are. Must concentrate. Or, if you want probe, we can't sell. 100 credits and probe yours. Good deal, very good. You get probe, less work for us, everybody wins. Especially us. 100 credits is irrelevant to us. You drive a hard bargain, but very well. Very good, very good. We release probe into your care. Maybe a bit banged up. There was accidental collision during salvage operation. Midwife fall on controls. Clumsy oaf. But oaf still in good condition. Yes, we care about the condition of the oaf very much. No refunds. We depart now. Okay. So there's that one done. The salvagers kept their word and transferred the probe over to our control. As soon as the transfer was complete, their fleet departed the system on an unknown heading. Although the probe is in rough condition, we managed to download detailed sensor readings of the entire Bonos system from its memory banks. Excellent. Okay, so this science ship requires orders, and its orders are to immediately make its way down over this way. We know that this is a dead end, so this is our next target position. Fantastic. We need to head up this way and see if this is a dead end. So next we're just going to explore that system, not survey it. We'll decide whether we want to survey it or not once we're up there. But so far, this is looking like a really, really strong start for us.
Space charts updated.
Excellent. And yes, we're going to be entering the Guardians of Zanam. Ah, so that's a Gaia world. Yes, it is. For now, we're not too concerned about the Guardians of Zanam. I think that we'll just not enter there. We'll survey this, and then survey this, and then survey this. We'll just leave them alone for the time being. Fantastic. This construction ship can head up to Bonos, and you can definitely see we're short on influence. This was always going to be the thing with 2 construction ships. But I did want to start the spread out over this way so that we can guarantee some of this over this way as well. Ooh, that's a Gaia world as well. Interior imaging of Hedricus 5A suggests massive underground caverns wait below the planet's surface. They may be worth investigation. And so we shall. Desert world down over there, not too helpful. And of course, an alpine world, also not too helpful. Not oceany enough for us.
A system has been charted.
There's Alamar surveyed. Perfect. Dressel 6 is uninhabited and, indeed, uninhabitable, but not unvisited. Its surface is littered with tall cenotaphs carved from some mineral not native to the planet, evidently placed here by some artistically inclined spacefaring race. The monolith's flowing lines deftly chart a history so fantastical, must surely be fictional. Surely. We'll image them for the archives and get ourselves a pretty good amount of engineering research. Fantastic. Speaking of engineering, our geothermal fracking is done, and I think next, mineral purification plants would be a good thing to go for. Even though we don't really know how many minerals we need, it'll still be a decent thing to have. After all, we're going to need at least some mining worlds, I think. Or at least one, and having a more efficient one would be nice. So that's completely fine. We're doing very okay on everything here except influence. And these guys are, of course, going to pop up here, see if this is a dead end. Ah! Our colony ship has made a gentle splashdown in the moon-spanning ocean of Tadasca Prime, just off the shores of a large archipelago. This fertile island chain will serve as an excellent first landing site. The ship has been permanently anchored in preparation for its conversion into the administrative headquarters of the new settlement. Its reactor core is in the process of being removed so that it may serve as the colony's temporary power source. Hundreds of small tents and prefab shelters have sprung up on the islands surrounding the former starship's massive hull as colonists begin to disembark in large numbers. The first Pictling city on an alien world. I feel like this is not written for Aquatics. Just saying. We should settle in the ocean. Oh well. Oh well. It is about time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, but I guess we'll do this first. Someone used a mining laser from orbit approximately 5,000 years ago to carve a large body of writing into the surface of Dressel 9A. The massive script covers a large portion of the moon's upper hemisphere, and appears to be a short story chronicling the difficult life of an alien mercenary. Fascinating. As I said, it is time to put a cut in, so that is happening now. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.